And we're back on the Mana Symbol channel playing a little bit of a Mimi night on this wonderful Wednesday. So we've got 4-color Glimpse of Omnath in here. We're taking a peep into the elemental shower room, locker room, and getting a little glimpse of Omnath here in all of his glory. So Omnath is the focal point of my title only because this is the 4-color version of the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck that is playing Omnath, Locus of Creation. Some of them are playing Risen Reef, others are not. So Omnath's Landfall trigger, which triggers up to 3 times in a relevant way in a single turn, is one core payoff of this deck, as is Tireless Provisioner, the new Tireless Tracker variant, which when a land enters the battlefield under your control, you can create a food token or a treasure token. We've got a bunch of token makers in Seasoned Pyromancer and Wavesifter, as well as Goblin or Chancellor of the Forge, which is a one of the Chancellor cycle from New Phyrexia, which you can reveal from your hand at the beginning of the game if it's in your opening hand. And if you do, you get a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token with haste. So what are we doing with this deck? Well, we're getting to this card, Glimpse of Tomorrow, which is one of the null cost cards from Modern Horizons 2. It has Suspend 3 for red, which means it'll come in on your 5th turn, assuming you suspend it on your 2nd turn. It says shuffle all permanents you own into your library. This includes... sorry. No, this is just everything in play. Then reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put all non-aura battle permanents onto the battlefield. That's not relevant for us. We're not playing any auras. And we do the same. Sorry, we put the non-auras on the battlefield first. That's relevant. And then the aura part doesn't matter. So that separation is important if you are playing anything that is an aura. We're not. The most important thing is we're going to shuffle up all our permanents and then whip that many cards off the top of our deck and put anything that is a permanent onto the battlefield directly. So we're trying to play as many permanents as possible, and in that way, the entire deck is permanents, except for the 3 Glimpse of Tomorrow and the 4 Violent Outbursts. We're using Shardless Agent, Violent Outburst, and 1 Ardent Plea to try to cascade into the Glimpse of Tomorrow, at which point we'll hopefully have a reasonable number of permanents on the battlefield. Let's say about 6 is the hope, maybe 5, and then the Glimpse of Tomorrow will hopefully at that point hit a Tireless Provisioner with some lands, an Omnath with some lands, a Wavesifter and some lands, a Chancellor of the Forge and some other creatures and some lands. And through the looping, what can happen is you can hit a Goblin Dark-Dwellers, which allows you to recast a Glimpse of Tomorrow. And then you go even bigger the next round. Eventually, you can have a big enough Glimpse of Tomorrow that your Chancellor of the Forge is able to create about 10 Goblin tokens, and they have haste. And then you can play a Violent Outburst to give them all +1/+0 and attack for lethal as early as turn 3. We're also using a bunch of pitch cards and cards that pretend to cost more than they actually do in our sideboard, like Foundation Breaker, which has an evoke clause similar to Wavesifter. Wavesifter I didn't really mention in detail. This is a pretty important card for this deck from Modern Horizons 2. So it's green and a blue for the evoke cost, and when it enters the battlefield, you investigate twice. So you get 2 clue tokens off of the Wavesifter. So we have just a few turn 2 plays available to us, and then the whole deck is sort of a Cascade, vomit all my permanents into the battlefield, into play deck. So are there any decent impact tremor sort of cards in Modern? Perforos? Probably the best one. No. The answer is no. As with Goblin Bombardment, I think there wasn't a good one until Goblin Bombardment came out, and then it turns out Goblin Bombardment is fine. Card impact tremors. So 1 in a red, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And that's not Modern legal? DTK MB1. I don't know what those sets are. No, is it? Is that can't be Dragons of Tarkir. No, KTK is cons. Is that Modern legal? I don't know. Okay. It is modern legal. Okay. You meant modern playable. Well, I don't know. I mean, that one clearly isn't. But like, why do you want to play Impact Tremors? You want to kill them that way? I feel like that's just inefficient compared to what we're doing here. Then you have to get twice as many triggers. And it's going to get wiped out every time you glimpse. Gets around Leyline. So does this deck. You're looking for that kind of effect that is embarrassing. Well, this whole concept, this whole deck concept is embarrassing, right? I'm kidding, of course. Every deck is beautiful. The reason that this deck is a little bit more frustrating for most people, I think, to play against is it demands only a very specific type of interaction for the most part. Your point is you don't need to attack. Clearly, though, our options for strategy suck. I mean, this deck is pretty explosive, and you can get turn 3 kills with it. Really without trying, which I think is the appeal to it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's sequencing you need to understand a little bit, but I mean, yeah, if what you were looking for was a way to not need to attack, but why would you need to do that? Is the question. If your Enchantress opponent is able to assemble Sterling Groove plus solitary confinement before you kill them, yeah, you're gonna lose. I get that. You want to see if there's even less we could do for a win. I mean, there's 2-card infinite combos we could be using to win with, right? There just are. Like Saheeli Cat could win on turn 4 with you could play like 24 mana dorks, 4 Saheeli, 4 cats, and just try to mull to it, right? And that would theoretically be a lot less work. You'd still be attacking. But it'd be a lot less work. I think this hand is like perfect. So I didn't look at the mana base too carefully. We have at least one Triome. I'm pretty sure of it. Oh, this one's not playing any Triomes. Okay, that's probably for the best, but it is good to know. So we go fetch green or blue with red, then use Gemstone Mine on 2, and then probably play Seasoned Pyro on 3. Depends on the matchup. They're not playing Luris. In theory, blue decks are going to be our biggest weakness. Opponent leads on Windswept Heath, so that's not concerning. So we'll see where we end up here. So I definitely want red. Okay, so probably Steam Vents and Stomping Grounds are the 2 lands I'm going to grab here. Oh no, the Hallowed Fountain. Alex, it's horrible. I feel like Windswept Heath, I'm just safe to jam out this Wavesifter, take a 3 hit. Windswept Heath doesn't scare me right off the bat, but we'll see. Ewoke. Yield to that one. I'll just let the evoke go. We've got clues for days. Chicken for days. Chicken for days. Heliod's your guess? Yeah, it's been picking up. If it is Heliod, we need to win it fast. No, it's Enchantress. Okay. Should be a pretty easy game 1 here, as long as we don't whiff on this turn. Heliod could be a bad matchup. Yeah, I mean, it depends on if they were able to go off before we were. I mean, I think you just go for it here. I could make it more certain by taking another turn, but that feels like a good way to lose to solitary confinement. Cascade. So you Cascade, find your 1 card that matters, cast it. Okay, this is cool. So we get some treasures. Where's the always yield, always treasure option? Anyone? Go mountain. Oops. Actually, I was supposed to get an island there, but whatever. It's not gonna matter too much. I think it's possible because I missed this turn. I'm supposed to wait another turn and just play Seasoned Pyro and ditch these lands and see if I can't find another Cascader. If they find the Solitary, do I have a main deck way to win? Because this is going to be a really small glimpse if I go for another one right now. I do not. Okay, there we go. So we're just looking to dodge literally Solitary this turn. They don't play that many copies of it. Ideal draw for the next turn is a fetch land. Sit this, okay. They have 2 enchantments in play plus 1 mana, so they could still do it. Thin ice. Okay, this is fine. I really don't care. They take my Tireless Provisioner. That's fine. Yep. All right, they still had 3 mana. Okay, well. Oh, Sanctum Weaver, you bend my mind on your math. Okay, so would have had an extra Cascade there, but that's okay. And now we're cooking. All right, so I guess this Seasoned Pyro is going to resolve, and I want that to happen first, probably. Get a lot of tokens here. Lot of tokens. So we got treasure, 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 and I don't know, treasure. Khalni Gardens, we can auto yield. Okay. Get steam vents, or I don't know, mountain. Treasure. Okay, that resolves. And this is the last glimpse in the deck. So we do need to find a Goblin Dark-Dwellers on this flip. We also don't have a Violent Cascade in hand anymore. We could draw one with a Heliod or some such. Not a Heliod, Omnath. But we just have to be cognizant. Would I like to pay 2 life? Sure, why not? Okay. So we got a lot of Omnath triggers. So I want my Seasoned Pyromancer to... Okay, so we put Goblin Dark-Dwellers on the bottom. I know that much. Chancellor the Tangle goes next because it's going to give us a number of creatures equal to the number of creatures we have. Khalni Garden definitely goes above that one. Spyro is not necessarily going to give us creatures. I want my Omnath draw to actually go after the Seasoned Pyromancer because each of these Seasoned Pyromancers might actually draw me some relevant cards. And then all these Omnath triggers can go first. So we end up with a bunch of floating mana here, plus our opponent takes 4. Now we ditch this one card. Draw Chancellor of the Forge, that's fine. Just ditch both of these. Okay. Omnath draw. Khalni Garden. Okay, now Chancellor gives us this many 1/1 Goblins. So there's a Chancellor. So basically, this next glimpse is just going to flip out my entire deck. And the question I have is it worth doing? And I believe the answer is yes. Also, This Violent Outburst is still on the stack, huh? So I have 16 damage with haste right now, but that's not enough. I have one. I have all the Chancellors still in the deck other than 1, 2. So we go again, I'm pretty sure. You can concede anytime you want, opponent. I do have to be careful if maybe Omnath and or Seasoned Pyromancer is going to get me killed here by decking, which obviously I've never seen my opponents do while playing this deck. I have 17 cards remaining in my library. Is there a Chancellor? There's no Chancellor in play. Did I just lose? I don't know. Guess I'm about to find out. I certainly don't know if I can navigate these triggers. I don't know if it matters. Is it better to cast Outburst in response to other outbursts after the Cascade resolves? I don't know. Can't tell you. I would love to try to tell you, but I don't know. Okay, this is ridiculous. I'm not okay with this anymore. I have chosen poorly today. So there's no... All right, we're going to hit him for 4 with the Omnath at some point. So let's get these Khalni Gardens on the bottom. Jeez. Moto, please. Moto Y. Let's get those Spyros next. Then the Omnath draw. Then the Sifters. Then the Omnaths. And it doesn't auto-stack them. I don't even think this is fun for me. Is this fun for me? No. No, it's not. I mean, not that I really expected it to be, but... Okay, treasure. 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 No, it's just like... What's the right way to explain this, Phoenix? Like, you know when you were a kid and you find like a pin and you could stick it through like the top layer of your skin there, and it was like it wasn't fun, but maybe I was a weird kid. I don't know. I'm probably about to find out. So we have a Chancellor I can cast now, and I think I have Pyromancers in my graveyard I'll be able to activate. So I think this will work out. I'm a weird adult? Well, no kidding. Okay, so how much mana do I have here? I can fetch this. And it worked. Shock it. Omnath resolves doing that thing. Make a treasure. So let's put these Pyromancer tokens into play. Okay. Then we can cast... We're not casting this Glimpse. No. I could cast this Violent Outburst, but nothing here has haste, so it doesn't matter. And then cast the Glimpse of Tomorrow. It doesn't matter. And this Violent Outburst affects a bunch of things that don't have haste. Now we go red, red, red. Cast Chancellor. I think this is enough. I sure hope so. I didn't actually count. It might not be. Be pretty embarrassing if it's not. Game just 1, 2. It's 22. I think we made it. I mean, to be fair, the way we had to go about this was a lot more circuitous than it normally works. Like usually that works a little bit smoother. I've died to this deck enough times already. This is not normally how this has to go. But I did play against something similar to this the other day. I played against Twiddlestorm the other day. I was like, well, I got some laundry to fold. So I did. So Enchantress. So we have Foundation Breakers and Force of Vigor. I could bring in Fury, but if they throw down their protection nonsense first, then it doesn't do anything. Thanks, Shauna. I'm glad. This is part of the reason I'm doing this playing this deck right now. I think is to try to demonstrate that this is like this is not a thing that we should be encouraging. And I want to be clear, it's a very cool concept that someone solved, and hats off to you. Now that you've solved it, let's all just put it away and not talk about it. Because nobody's having fun when you play this. I mean, I'm sure there are people who play this and they're just like, this is the best thing ever. But for me, I don't know. I don't know about this one. It's like Neobrand. Is it cool that someone figured it out? Sure. Yeah, I mean, you can do that, Phoenix. Although, I don't know if you're going to be making good friends with your judge by doing that. I think the more responsible thing to do is like you have to be the one to pay attention yourself and call the judge when there is a problem. Because it's an unreasonable ask to just have a judge. Yeah, I mean, Alex's response is totally yeah. I know you're over exaggerating. I'm just putting it on record because I am a judge and I don't want people to get a wrong impression about what is the expectation there. There is no expectation for a judge to actually park themselves next to a match, even one where this is happening. So I think this is a keep. We're not generating any extra permanents, but like having enough lands makes me pretty comfortable. Oh, I don't know. I feel like there's a pretty reasonable chance. Right. I mean, I guess so, Shauna. I think my problem with this deck is how many chances for error there are as you're going along. That's a concern for me. Okay, so I think they might have mulled to turn 2 Blood Moon. Ah, okay. So we can't win with an Alpha Strike now. Oh, no, we still can. We have Foundation Breakers to break that up. Okay, you foiled nothing, opponent. Good mulligan, though. You sure tried. Oh, he's trying. Oh, opponent, you sure you're getting stuff done. Ooh, yeah. I misfetched there because I drew the Khalni Gardens. I should have gotten Steam Vents, and I did not. This is Blood Moon, though. It's not gonna matter. Are they just like pumping me? Nope, it is actually Blood Moon. All right. Well, we just very slowly put a reasonable number of permanents into. Never mind. Never mind. I'm fine. Hey, Balmond, you weren't counting on seeing me again, were you? Ew. Alright, we ditched the uncastable stuff. If I find my forest, I can cast the Violent Outburst, which is not impossible, so... yeah. Yep. Oh, they're digging out of this. They got one card. Wow. What a draw. Jesus. I can't even be mad. Deck wants to win. MTGO Premium. When you really want to stick the screws to your opponent, make sure you get that MTGO Premium. Nice blue-green card I got here. I was never casting that. One swole chest leads to another. I guess so. All right, here we go. Who's ready to spin to win? Could have GDD'd the outburst. I can GDD the glimpse. So I don't we got the foundation breaker. We will need to spin again, but we can do that, so it's not a problem. Choose an Omnath to keep. Oh, my cup runneth over. Ooh. Slow down, we haven't met each other. All right. Foundation breaker. Break that. Then I want to draw with the Omnaths before the Spyro. Yeah. And then all these Omnath triggers. So my opponent's taking a reasonable amount of damage first. Oh, wait. This works out great. Yeah. So the way this ends up stacked up, the Foundation Breaker breaks the authority of the consoles. Then my Chancellors are going to go off, and I was going to get about 16 goblins, and then I can cast the Violent Outburst still during the same upkeep and kill them. And then cast the Goblin Dark-Dweller. So what decks beat this one? The one was stack-based interaction. Stack-based interaction. So blue. And then some disruptive decks with Thoughtseize and a reasonable clock. So the black-red Luris deck is not a total dog. They can blow up some of your permanents, which increases your whiff chance. So Grafdigger's Cage? I doubt it. Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. No one's playing Cage, though. Not really. Like, Karn decks are, but... Oh, Etron. We'll just throw down Chalice on 0, and then beat you up in the meantime with TKS. And Smasher. And decks that are sideboarding against the Cascade decks in the first place will be fine. You can't wait for someone to try to show up with this deck at F&M. I don't think they're going to be making a lot of friends, to be perfectly honest. Because and again, I want to clarify this very, very much. Hey, Blitz. What my problem with this deck, I'm not saying that you're a bad person for playing this deck or finding it interesting. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you try to sit down and play this deck against someone in paper, nobody's going to have a good time. And it's sort of like if you have a number of different decks you could play, and you choose to play against Timmy, who's 8-year-old and learning to play Magic with your modern burn deck, right? Like, it's just kind of a dick move. And you know, you're not. That's not like, it's not good for FNM. Now, if you want to play this at a competitive event, that's fine. I mean, in theory, but you better have your stuff together in terms of executing on this one, because you are not going to be the friend of a lot of judges very quickly. Oh, he's on Merfolk. Okay, this is more threatening than other things that I was expecting Hayashi to be playing. I thought I was going to be racing the turn 3 Blood Moon, but it's not that. Sorry, I noticed that someone used the deck command and it didn't pop up. You can now use the deck command. I fixed it. I feel like if you want to play this in paper, I'd just play the Omniscience Emrakul version, because holy crap, would this make my brain hurt. Yeah, I mean, the concern with this version is just like, even so, it's not going to be fun to try to keep track of all the triggers. Like, there's just too many for any reasonable human being. Like, if you watched the last match, that was too many triggers for any reasonable human being to actually. Oh, it popped up in your chat? Okay. But I just checked and the bot had left the channel. So, either way. So I assume this means they're playing Counterspell. Which, can't actually play around in any way, shape, or form. So we're just going to try to play through it. I already have green, and I want to be able to cast an Omnath if I draw it. So my blue source, I'll grab Hallowed Fountain. And then I'll grab Stomping Ground. Or Curse Catcher. Well, yeah, but that's... So I'm not going to play a... Oh, I think I meant to play Pyromancer this turn. But that's fine. I'll play Provisioner this turn. And then Pyromancer next turn. Yeah, that'll work fine. I'm probably taking more damage here than I need to. Okay. I could swing in with my Goblin here, but they could be playing Rashad and Dockhand. And permanent count is very important for what we're doing. So I may have lost a point of damage, but that's not really where this game is going to be made or broken. No problem, Luke. Thanks for dropping by. Okay. I'm assuming he's on Force of Negation, but that's fine. Omnath. Oh, yeah, I'm not playing Omnath this turn, but, well, I could. But I'm not going to. Come on, let's search for treasure. So I need to get Steam Vents here if I want to have access to all my colors. I guess my life total is looking a little hairy against Merfolk. But on the flip side, I'm eventually going to be casting a bunch of gigantic spells that they're just not going to be able to deal with in theory, so I'm not going to worry about it. I think I'm ditching Outburst and Dark-Dwellers. Does that seem right? No. Outburst and Chancellor. Cool. Okay. I do have islands, so Svaelun, if they give it Island Walk, can get through. So we have to go for it next turn. Cast the Shardless. Oh, yeah, I should have done that. I was looking to go double Cascade next turn, Jake, but um, because casting the Shardless requires me sacrificing 2 permanents. I guess it's possible they just kill me here, right? They have another Lord off the Vial plus Mutavault. That's 3, 5. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're one short if they had another Lord. Okay. So, no, we're just looking to double Cascade the next turn. And if they have double force, they have double force. Alternatively, like I just play Omnath, play a land, and just like jam. So we'll see if I pick up a fetch. It's like a reasonable shot. Gold can cast the out, and you get the Cascade. Yeah, I know, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they could put me to 1 here. Yeah, and they. Oh no, they can't because they can't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Silvergill had summoning sickness. I was assuming they were going to attack with the Mutavault, but they didn't. And this is good because if we draw fetches as we're going, if I get to the point of actually cascading. So, pretty sure I'm supposed to play Omnath here, just try to rip the... Or I just play Shardless and assume that they have force. I mean, they have to, right? Although, you know what? I'm playing around. Yeah. What am I doing? Let's find out if they're playing force or not. Let's see the words. Paying costs? Paying costs? Ooh. No paying costs. You love to see it. I don't know what they could possibly have to beat this now. I think it's cast, right? I think it's just resolving itself right now. There, yes, it was. All right. So let's target the glimpse and target the outburst. I did that in the wrong order. Hopefully it won't matter, but it may. Pyro on the bottom, trackers on the top. Yield to the trackers. Treasure. You don't have the cards. Why don't you rent the cards, Pi? You were the trophy leader. You must be an MTGO millionaire. Oh, you meant at a paper thing. I thought you meant on stream. Oh, my bad. I would never play this in paper. Are you kidding me? This would be such a nightmare. Alex, why would you recommend anyone do something so irresponsible? Oh, I answered my own question. Okay, so you can cast the Violent Outburst. I'm going to choose not to do so. Shouldn't have targeted it in the first place. I knew that. And then we're going to Glimpse again. Oh, but let's get a bunch of mana. And then I need 4 more. Okay. Kinnan song. Yeah, Kinnan Song is quite the card, or quite the deck. It was a good one. It was a good one. We have enough cards in hand that Seasoned Pyro will not cause us to have problems. Roy owns one deck. So we're not paying life here. I just don't need to. Oh my god, we've got Chancellors out the yin yang, out the wazoo, which is where they come out. All right. Opponent is incredibly dead. But M. Hayashi, in my previous experience, does not scoop. Nor are they required to. So we put our Chancellors on the bottom. Then the Khalni Garden. Then the Omnath draw. And the Wavesifters. And the trackers. You hope they don't scoop TBH. TBH. I hope they don't scoop TBH. Alright. Yield. Woohoo! Woohoo! How do we win here? You about to see it, you mad. It's already on the stack. Can you see it? Do you see? Do you see? You have died. M. Hayashi has fallen. Excuse me, Mr. Leff. I would like you to ask before you go get yourself some vodka. Go see the Hermitage. Oh, thanks, Shauna. That'd be great. So we just put in 22 goblins with haste. And then my Goblin Dark-Dwellers is going to cast a Violent Outburst, which doesn't Cascade, but it does give my creatures +1, +1/+0. As Richard Garfield intended. 3 mana, creatures you control get +1/+0. Oh, it does Cascade. I swore Cascade was if you play it from your hand. Well, we're not playing the Glimpse. I just don't need to. For some reason, I thought Cascade was if you play it from your hand. And this Shardless Agent has been waiting very patiently. It will finally resolve. And then... Right, because Cascade, you can Cascade a Cascader. Yeah, I knew, again, I knew you could do that. Like, if you asked me, can you do this? I would say, of course you can. Like, I know you can do that. But, okay, here's the Break Moto moment, because this is, like, 70 goblins. Anyone enjoy game objects? So my timer was 15:37 when it started trying to put these goblins into play. Let's let's see what happens. I'm not enjoying the gameplay. I'm enjoying how stupid this is allowed to be. Like, are we really We lost 33 seconds on that. All right, go to combat. Attack with all. Am I the superior jank pilot to Cherry Axe Man? I believe the answer is yes. Oh, hold on. Opponent could be blocking here. I'm F6ing now. I should have done it when as soon as I said attack. Oh, they're putting in a creature. So he had not F6. They get a Glasspool Mimic for Silvergill Adept. And they drew a card. And they're assigning. Do you think they're dead? I don't know. Math is for blockers. I'm getting a beer. I have only one thing to say to you all. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? All right. So we're gonna try to go a little slow in the game. Oh, Night Pie. I'm gonna be up early next week at some point because I'm gonna be doing a co-stream with Legacy Council, so that's pretty exciting. Also, they're not next to America. Arkan, that's right. Yeah, he messaged me about wanting to try to do some modern content, and so he put up a poll that was asking like, would you be interested in seeing me do some modern content? And I just responded to him saying like, hey, if you're gonna do it, like I'm willing to ride along with you because it's maybe not gonna be fun to get massacred. I didn't say that, but like, this knowing what's about to happen to you will help you not die to it. Can I keep this? They kept their 7. I mean, I can keep this. I'm gonna keep this and assume that. Well, let's give me a goblin. Yeah, it's probably better. Oh, and I probably want to flip into the Dark-Dwellers more anyway. So, sorry. So my point was like I was totally I didn't expect him to actually say yes, but he did. But I definitely will do it because I like the dude, and again, like learning a new format is way better with like someone around to be like, oh, you're about to die to some bullshit here. Let me steer you. Let me steer you slightly to the right so that you don't. I plan on giving him the talk, which is now Arkan. I know you love control decks, and control decks love you, but there's something you need to know about the modern format. We don't have dual lands. We just don't. We have their little brother who, let's say, came out a little different. We call them shocklands, and they're a totally reasonable substitute for dual lands. So aggro decks are overall a little more unreasonable. I know you think you understand what burn is, but yeah. But I did steer him toward TSP Yenrik's most recent 5-0 with like Jeskai control, which I think is going to be well in his wheelhouse because it's got Terminus, it's got Planeswalkers, and it's got a little splash into red for some of the better hate cards that you need. So I was really hoping to draw like a Cascade spell by now, which we didn't. But that's okay. We'll cast an Omnath without the ability to play a land next turn, and then see where we end up. They go up to 3. We know they're dropping in a Svalin. Unless they're playing Marrow Regery, which most of them are not. Although I don't know if they would keep the Svalins in post board. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't board in. I didn't board in Foundation Breakers for this matchup, so feels magic, man. So I get Omnath into play, and then I almost definitely just take lethal and die. But if I don't, well, assuming they don't have Counterspell up. I'm in danger. Oh. I wonder if they have like a bounce spell, or if they just have lethal and they don't care. Second Lord? Weird that they didn't push the damage last turn. Yeah, okay. 14 damage. Okay. I know how to conserve my time. Do you? Alright, so we got to bring in even more hate, which makes this actually quite difficult. Well, or less. Maybe we just try to punch through here. Force of Vigor could be really good if they have an explosive start with the hate. If they go Vile and Chalice like early, and we get to blow them out with the Force of Vigor. Yeah. All right. I'm into it. I guess I should probably keep the Wavesifter, but I kind of like the Provisioners, the Shardless. Like, I don't know. Doom can complain about the Ardent Plea all he wants, but you're playing Omnath, and like, I love this card being in the main deck because it gives me an easy cut as soon as I start sideboarding. Will Ardent Plea's out, unless we're in like a pure racing matchup, which I have no hate for, which I don't think there are any of. Fury, well, Fury maybe I should be bringing in, but I don't know where you're supposed to put it. Like, I feel like the engine, the kill in this deck is good. Wow, this hand sucks. Khalni Garden, not going to do it there. This hand is much better. We just need to peel one land, and we're golden. And I'm living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Golden. Living my life like it's golden. 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 Okay, opponent, play a Chalice on 0, and then so that I don't destroy it, play the second Chalice on 0. Don't worry about it. Didn't jam out the Chalice, and I'm assuming that's because Hayashi is very intelligent and doesn't want to lose. I shouldn't have fetched there. Doesn't want to lose the second land or the second artifact to a potential Force of Vigor. So the way mana actually works for this game, though, I wonder if I should just shoot this and then play Seasoned Pyro next turn and then go for the bigger play the turn after. I'm going to do that. Do nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Play a land, though. So here's the problem with doing nothing. They can just wait with the Chalice until they're out of counter magic if they have counter magic, and I'm assuming the mono blue deck, quote unquote mono blue, is playing some counter magic. I wouldn't not be playing counter magic if I were him. So I'm going to blow up the Vial here. And then we're going to play Seasoned Pyro next turn. and try to set up for a bigger glimpse down the line. Well, it's splashing green. I assume he's splashing green. I mean, I got hit with a what is it called? Reclamation Sage out of Merfolk the other day, and I can't imagine that wasn't M. Hayashi technology. It certainly seemed like it. We can get the Hallowed Fountain here if I want. I don't have to shock, but I kind of want to. Oh no, I need red. Don't not get red, you fool. You fool! Reclamation Sage is a merfolk. It was errated by Nikachu. I thought Nikachu's erratas were struck out in WotC versus the merfolk in 2003 when they introduced cephalids. Unless I'm no longer up on my merfolk ability to influence the decisions of R&D law. Shit. I forgot about Merfolk's Trickster and its potential relevance in this situation. You love cephalids. Of course you do. Of course you do, Alex. You would. Yeah, I mean, no Chalice means I just go for the Cascade this turn. There's no way that I don't. Or there's a way that I don't. And the reason we're doing this is because then I can Cascade next turn, and then I can Dark-Dwellers the turn after. And this is providing me enough resources to get there. If they feel pressured to counter this, I'm in good shape. Not great shape, but good shape. And with a flute up his nose, Ralph Wiggum. I now give you the remnants of the Springfield, it's like the Springfield Youth Band. On saxophone, Lisa Simpson. On triangle, Martin Prince. And with a flute up his nose, Ralph Wiggum. Repeal. I like you, Emayashi. You... What? Bruh. If I had gone for the Cascade that turn, I would have lost 2 permanents. Dose. Can you imagine? Lord of Atlantis. They're attacking? How sassy. Okay, I'm happy to draw a land here. Dos permanentes. Sí. Dos permanente. We make the treasures, and then we make more the treasures. And then we are make geist. We're going to make such a geist. I'm just waffling between different European accents that I'm sure are offensive to people, so I'm probably going to stop. But I apologize. If anyone cares anymore, I apologize. Trigger? What did you have? Something good, Mr. Hayashi? Ah, you speak Spanish. In a way. Okay. That's fine. Resolve Shardless Agent. Dark-Dwellers. What the hell is this? Oh, they're trying to draw into the next force. Oh, it's a good thing this does the Cascade, because I didn't have any other spell there. Alright, did you find it? They did. Whoa. Okay, well, attack you for 7. I mean, I have pretty lethal attack on deck next turn. So they're just taking it. I guess they're all in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So even if they rip a Lord, they don't have lethal here. And the Lord would have to cost 0 mana. Um, so I'm not really sure what their plan is. Uh-huh. But they can't attack. I mean, they can attack for like 4, or 3, but not 7. It's just, yeah. So I have to attack with Dark-Dwellers, trade it for one of their creatures. That is an insane draw. Am I supposed to play that pre-combat? I am, because I'm going to lose the tracker. So let's keep up blue-green here. Or red-green. Oh, yeah. Treasure, we make. We fetch. It's a bold move, Captain. Let's see what this does for. Can I get an oh yeah? Oh yeah! You're going nowhere, Hayashi. I'm coming in for you, and we're going hard. Yeah. Oh, we're going hard. Yeah. Cascade spells. Yeah. Glimpse of tomorrow. Yeah. What an incredible showing here from the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck. Good golly, oh my, that is a lot of triggers on the stack right now. Gonna have to target their own Shardless Agent. Whoa, Doctor. Yeah. Alright. That's a classy concession. Thank you, opponent, because I did not want to have to play that out. And in an absolute show of gentlemanly class, Hayashi takes the L. Hayashi down for the count. And the Cascade nonsense deck is riding high. What you seem to be doing there is absolutely incredible, Omnath. Would you like to explain yourself? Oh, yeah. I looked into the glimpse of tomorrow, yep. And I saw the dragon coming for me, yep. Stared him in the eye. Those characters are fun. Deck seems good. No, it's terrible. Don't play it. Do not play this deck. All right. So keep this one. Cascade on 3 with 5 permanents and win. If we're against Chad Nauseum, as the Stream Decker seems to suggest not Stream Decker, MTG bot suggests that we might be, this should be a good game 1 in that I'm just going to go off faster than they are. Why terrible? It's just a bad experience for both players. If you want to just like play this slot machine and win games sometimes, yeah, this is probably the best version of this deck, but I don't recommend it. Because it's just like if you're gonna have fun doing it, you know what? I'm not here to yuck your yum. But I would like to point out that like a lot, like if you pay attention to how much clock we use compared to our opponent almost every single game, I mean, it's just not an okay thing that's happening. It's just not. I guess they could have Pact of Negation. And that would be, if they have a game 1 Pact in hand, we're going to get got. And if they don't, we're probably going to win. I'm going to go blue-red here because I have the Stomping Ground to get to this Dark Dweller. I really want to do promos for Modern Madness as Randy Rootwalla, the wrestler. I really do. I feel like that would be just a fun time for everyone. Hi, Larynx. We're doing nonsense, and we're 2-0. We beat M. Hayashi, one of the best modern players there is. Yeah, me too, Mir. It's just like they spend so much time futzing around and they might not even win. It's like, what are you doing? Like, really? Really? That's what we're this is what modern has come to. And I guess you're supposed to get that meme where it's like, oh, it always was. Literally Tybalt's trick. It is. It's just another Tybalt's trickery deck, exactly. No, yeah, it's not exactly. It's not quote unquote real magic. Mark Rosewater once did a podcast episode where he's like, "You need to stop calling things that aren't the form of magic that you enjoy. You should stop calling them not real magic. All magic's real magic." No. I'm drawing a line in the sand. This is not real magic. This, it's just not. It's just not. I apologize. Opponent says, "What is happening to me? Death. Period." All right, so Goblin Dark-Dwellers whiffs here, but that's fine. Rack them up, stack them up. I want Seasoned Pyro to trigger after I have these treasures. And then Dark-Dwellers just fails to go on the stack. Cool. You don't think anybody's louder than Morrow? Oh, let me... Put me in a room with them. I'll show you something about loud. Mac Rosewater. Mac. Oh, I'll show him a little something about loud. Did we whiff? Well, I have an Omnath, so we're not done yet. I also have some clues. Okay. 1, 2. Crack a clue. Now. All right. So Ad Nauseam has to turn 3 me, which is very possible. I can crack the last clue and try to hit what? Did this Omnath hasn't seen a land enter play yet, so he's not ready to give me any mana yet. So I think we just pass here and hope that we get him next turn. Oh, also this matchup is terrible, right? Because they play Angel's Grace. I think this has got to be basically the unwinnable matchup, right? We had to race them, but all of their tools that are combo pieces also just stop us from winning. Oh my god, I can't believe Ad Nauseam is allowed to be a deck in this format. What a stupid format. God. Opponent said I'm in awe. Don't be. Next time it happens, it might be a lot more annoying. How can't I be? This is amazing. All right, opponent's got the Timmy reaction. I respect that. I respect that. So I literally can't kill them now. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, which is not enough. I can't just cast a Violent Outburst, so because I don't have one. Let's crack a clue first and see if I can find. Nope. So I can get mana out of my Omnath, which can cast. Like, I have to go through all this wheel nonsense just to... Oh, man. If I can hit them to 0 and then wheel through my deck for Omnaths to hit them with 3 new Omnaths, I can kill them in a single turn. But it's pretty unlikely. It's also, I don't necessarily even know that I have the resources to do that at all. But I guess I might as well try. So go trigger. I mean, I do technically, but it just depends on how it shakes out, KJ. I need to get enough to kill them and then be able to keep going through the deck multiple times, which is not... I don't know if that's realistic. All right. It's time to... What's those words? Spin to win! That's right. Glimpse of Tomorrow, everybody. This episode of the Mana Symbol channel is brought to you by Glimpse of Tomorrow. Catch a glimpse today. All right. So would I like to pay 2 life? Yeah, why not? Screw it. All right, Chancellor on the bottom. Khalni Garden. Oh, whoop. I have a Dark-Dwellers. But I don't know. The potential chance of... Yeah, so I horribly stacked this one because the actual route to victory for me in this game is just so obtuse that I just don't even want to actually entertain trying to execute through it. I can still cast this Dark Dweller in my hand, so we're not like out of this, but I don't know. I'm definitely not doing a good job maximizing this, and I apologize for that. There's one of the Omnaths I need, which is not good news. So this attack is smaller than the one I was going to have before, which is not great. I have white, blue, so I just need red mana here, if I can find one. Then I can cast Omnath, draw a card. That doesn't actually move the needle, though. I could cast Dark Dweller for a glimpse here, which I guess is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of waffling here because I had a line, then I failed to commit to it. Now I'm trying to recommit to it. I think I'm going to be light on mana producing lands from this point forward, but Omnath doesn't need the lands to produce mana. So using the Dark Dwellers is... I shouldn't have had to do this. I should have gotten a free one, and I should be basically up 5 mana because of that. So if I fail to go off, I've put myself in this position here. So if you actually did want to maximize playing this deck, you could do a lot better in this game, and you could have followed the initial line that I proposed to its conclusion. This is going to be awkward, too, because we might hit too many of the Omnaths early and then not be able to get The yeah. The problem is like the non-deterministic axes of this combo are just problematic. All right, so this attack is 800 million% lethal, quote unquote, but they have the Phyrexian on life, and they also could actually just end up having an Angel's Grace too, which is going to really cheese me off when they do. And I think I've hit too many Omnaths now, because like the one in my hand can't be in play and be triggered this turn. There's one in play now. So there's two more in the deck. I think that means I can't do it anymore. I needed I needed 3 Omnaths in the deck. Yeah. So I think if I hadn't screwed up, it was still possible, but I don't think it is anymore. That's okay. I'm not really fussed about it. This has got to be one of the worst possible matchups anyway. No. All right. It's technically possible that they don't win on their untap and they don't have an Angel's Grace and we just end up killing them next turn because of both of them. So basically, I just truncate that. It's possible we just kill them next turn. It's possible. You're saying there's a chance? No, I'm not. But there might be. Oh, maybe you're right, Roy. Yeah, I keep misreading Glimpse. You have a question. Yeah, shoot, Alex. The problem is I'm not going to be able to... Yeah. Well, it doesn't pick up the graveyard. I was incorrect about that. The Glimpse doesn't pick up the graveyard. The graveyard stays where it is. But in theory, it's not as difficult. It wasn't as difficult for me to win this turn as I thought it was. All I had to do was get a lethal attack and the ability to cascade again afterwards, and it actually would be fairly textbook, I think. Spending 10 minutes off my clock here. How is generic good 5-color stuff these days? You mean Niv Mizzet Reborn? Yeah, I did, Roy, but it doesn't. Hi, Intellibeam. Well, we're playing the Teamer nonsense 4-color nonsense. If you glimpse in response to Omnath's third landfall trigger, all Omnath triggers left on the stack deal 4 damage. What? No, that can't be correct. There's no disenchant in the main deck, no. This deck is not... Opponent said, Christ, my application stopped responding. Please feel free to stop hurting my computer. On it. It uses last known information if Omnath leaves the battlefield. No, it doesn't. At least I don't. I there's no way that's correct, Montbank. I mean, I don't think that that's correct. It counts the number of times the ability resolved. And it connects that ability to the Omnath that triggered it. So the abilities know from which... That's how MTGO does it? That's not correct. Opponent's at negative 82. So right now, spoils of the world. We're dead. This is my first league matzo ball. You just sat down. What happened? They're ad nauseum. So they played at a Phyrexian on life, and it's going to take us 2 turns to kill them, and they're going to kill me in the meantime. I could have tried to solve that on the 1 turn. They're trying to resolve their spoils of the vault. But there's too many game objects. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta just see how stupid it can get. All right. Let's bring in our Heartbreakers. And then how many of these leagues do I intend on playing? Just one. Just one. Each of these decks gets 1 league, and then I usually put them down forever. I'm really not interested in what these decks are doing. I just want to cover it because like it's novel, right? One league is the right amount of time to experience this, in my opinion. Yeah, all right. The best kind of madness, muffins on a hill, jank. Jank madness. Most important thing about your turn 1 plant tokens is you must assert dominance by attacking for 0. Don't miss it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Kia!
It's hammer time!
Yeah. Crab tokens as well. Get them. So what now? Infinity turn clock. Well, hold on. 20 divided by 0 is hold on. I can do this. Gosh. Carry the 1? What it's not it can't be that long. Play on life. Do it, you coward. It's Pendad Prism? Yeah, alright. Oh, it is on life. Good. So even if I miss the land drop this turn, I kind of time walk. Which I did. I love that this is a May trigger. You sure do you want to destroy your do? Yes, I do. But you are allowed to target your own stuff, so I do understand why. This is Band-Aid Prism. We're going to have a very, very small glimpse if I hit one. All right. It's time for the littlest glimpse, because I think if I just don't do it, then we're definitely dead. So we got to spin big. This has got to go big. Come on, baby. Hold together. 4 cards. It's this is a little guy. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. All right. Triggers. Draw a card. Gosh, was that like best possible? Feel like it might be. Play the Provisioner. Go fetch, Outburst. Oh, I don't have any glimpses left in my deck. So I have to play the Dark-Dwellers. Wow, that's terribly unfortunate. So then that means this has to be lethal right here. Otherwise, we're stuck. Unless I spin so big that I get enough mana to play the Violent Outburst. Okay, I see. I see where we're at. All right, this has got to be it. We're only getting 8, too. It's not like this was a huge one. It was bigger, but... Double Chancellor... Dark-Dwellers, Shardless Agent, and 3 mana. I think we got it. Oh, we definitely got it. Especially with Double Chancellor, they count each other, essentially. So, that's great. Alright, we won. So this is 5 goblins, then 10 goblins, then we attack for 30. So, sorry, we don't win if they have Angel's Grace. But I don't need to cast the Violent Outburst. So we'll put them to 1. And then I could outburst into, but there's no glimpse left in my deck. All right, if there was one more glimpse in our deck, we could probably cascade into glimpse during their turn, hit Omnath, and then flip over 3 lands and kill them. But all right, now they lost an Angel's Grace, so they may not be able to win this turn. So. GLHF, I guess. I guess the smart thing to do would be post-combat main phase. I should have suspended my Violent Outburst. Jeez. No way. Yeah. Oh, they're just... Yeah, they're scooping. Nice. I don't know if I deserve that. I don't know if I deserve any of these wins, but we're getting them. So, you know, that's happening. We're certainly getting the wins. I don't know if I'm earning any of these wins, but I'm getting these wins. You know who's earning these wins? Omnath. Omnath and the Cascade Fairies. I'm looking for a good deck name for this. Is Omnath and the Cascade Fairies it? Yes, no. Omnath is P good. All right, see you in a bit, Roy. Omnath is pretty good. Seems all right. Oh no. All right, I don't think I'm keeping that in a million years. That's a keeper. Let's get one of these glimpses back in the deck. Just why? It's a good deck name. Just why? Just stop. Why did no one ever tell you to stop? God. Can't cast this Omnath with this hand, by the way. Don't care. See? Didn't matter. We're good. We're good here. We're good here. We're good. Ain't need no drug test. We good. I know that looks like water, people, but some quality fire water. No, it's just water. They're missing white. I see. All right, well. Provisioner means I can play Omnath next turn, so that ain't not bad. Plus my artifact count goes way up. They can't win without white mana. At least, I don't think that they can. No, they cannot. They need access to white mana. Pendad Prism is what they drew. Okay. Okay. And that's... Okay, perfect. So we get to break that. And... Oh, I can Omnath first? I mean, I can Omnath. Hey, how's it going, Fusion Blaze? Tracker, land... That's better, right? We go Tracker, land, Foundation Breaker. Hey, what's up, Affinity Friendly Artifacts? Jello. Jello. One of my favorite ways to answer the phone. Jello. Also, Mielo. The Homer Simpson, of course. Always classy. You gotta give him the Homer. Mielo. Mielo. Yellow. They call him Mielo. Quite right. Alright. They still have one white mana, so they could just go like Angel's Grace, Oracle Spoils, Angel's Grace, Spoils Oracle. It could just be dead. Serum Visions leads me to believe that we are not. But they do have exactly enough mana to do it, so. Exactly blue, blue, black, white. Alright, alright. Another Pendad Prism. Acceptable. Opponent is stockpiling huge reserves of mana. Huge. Hi, Brian. I'm 2-0. And I'm in game 3 against Ad Nauseam, which is not how that's supposed to go. Oh, hold on. You really should watch the replay. There's been some serious fireworks. It has been ludicrous. I beat M. Hayashi. Like, come on. Opponent says, how do I blow you out if you just play normal? Be normal. All right. So let's get 2 treasures, attack for 6. And then suspend the glimpse. Never don't attack with your plant token. It's a bad EV. I don't think there's any reason not to suspend it now. Opponent, you thought you were the only one who could take advantage of the suspend mechanic. Not so. Oh, I'm gonna have too much. Yeah, whatever. I mean, too much. Who cares? Okay. Montbank with the deep cut. I wonder if they're about to value ad nauseum. No, I think they've taken their turn already. Yeah, they have. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they're at 11. So I need 1 point of damage. All right, I think we're dead. If they can't win by turn 6, yeah. They either have double spoils or spoils Oracle. Either way. And I considered for half a second, I didn't bring it up, but I considered for half a second bringing in Mystical Dispute. But I just was like, there's no way. I'll be back in 1 second while this is wrapping up. Yeah. There's nothing Boo earns about that, Brian. That's we didn't even like have a particularly good game there. The Foundation Breaker probably saved me for a turn or two, but realistically, I shouldn't win that game, and I didn't win that game. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. How dare I be so mature? Stream Decker isn't loading list for you. Never mind. Refresh fix it. Good. At least it was a loss to a dead deck. That's right. That's right. My opponent wasn't even playing a real deck. Ad nauseum is dead, man. Seeming Spirit Guide's gone. There's no such thing as ad nauseum anymore. It can't scare you. It can't hurt you anymore. And I said it. I said it when I played those two decks right after the Simming Spirit Guide ban, and I went like 2-3 and 1-4, but I was like, dude, if good people who actually know how to play ad nauseum were playing these decks, I guarantee you they're gonna be good. Or like, I don't know if I said it that strongly, but I was like, this feels very powerful. Like I was 1 turn away from winning almost every game I played, and I felt like if I had really known what I was doing, I would have gotten there. Okay, they're on Mardu nonsense. So I'm probably going to get smashed into little bitty bits. This is like a really crappy turn 3 Shardless Agent, but it's a turn 3 Shardless Agent, so I'm going to keep it. Darkslick Shores. Cookbook! A cookbook! Soylent Grey. He's made from trolls. Oh, shoot. Asmore Anomartic Dasina Kuldagar in full effect. Yeah. bobble tricking themselves. So they have Oval Chase in and Cookbook going, but they're missing their next piece. They probably have Thought Monitor. Hopefully I can get them. Hopefully they will end up tapping down next turn. I haven't played any of the obvious tells for this deck. I just need to potentially play around Metallic Rebuke. They don't play too many. Well, okay. I'm definitely playing this because it's just negative EV not to. If they play out an Asmora and kill my plant token, you know, it is what it is. This matchup is like very... What's the best way to describe it? It's not great for either player. Like, they could have Asmora and blow up a bunch of my creatures when I try to glimpse. If this is thought, yeah, okay, we're golden. We're golden. We are cleared for takeoff, so we just got to hit that slot machine. We got to give it the Fonzie. In theory, I could try to wait another turn. But since I didn't set up a double red, because I'm bad, I can't play the Pyro, so. Good luck and Godspeed, little doodle. We spin for 4. Godspeed, little doodle. Ooh! Oh, you hate to see it. What did I flip over? It doesn't tell me? Oh no, disaster. This is a terrible matchup for this to happen. Like, if this was against Merfolk, I'd be like, all right, I got a 4/4 menace and a 2/2. I don't know. Am I supposed to go again? 2 permanents? Yeah, whatever. We're basically dead here. Let's hit Omnath and a fetch land. Anyone? Omnath and a fetch land? Oh, so close. Will you accept Omnath and a shock land? Ooh. Can I get a redo? Oh, I'm sorry. That's against the rules. All right, I mean, if they don't have Asmora this turn, I mean, I hit what I was so close. Sorry, survey says Omnath and a Shockland was the answer. Omnath and a Shockland. Tough break. Tough break. Emery, okay. That's still not an Asmora. They're gonna mill 2 Asmoras. No, they didn't mill any. Okay. Okay. So they can quite easily have a Metallic Rebuke this turn, and I can't attack reasonably. Because they have a... What are the kids calling it? Pepperoni? Or is the play called the Pepperoni play? I'm not attacking because they have a giant construct that blocks and kills me. So... First up, cast Seasoned Pyromancer. How's this deck going? Well, that's a good question. I was 2-0. Then I ran into Chad Nauseum. And he gave me a good rummaging, let's say. Yeah, I mean... I wanted to grab a red source and I didn't. That's fine. I mean, it's not... Yeah, should have spent the white. That's really bad. Because if I draw Cascades, well... Oh, good. We didn't draw anything useful. That's fine. Excellent. Feels dead, man. I'm being oppressed. My opponent has a saga. I mean, obviously, Urza Saga is the problem card for us right now, but that's fine. I'm complaining that my opponent brought a knife to the Shiv fight. So that, yeah, the deck's going fine. Yeah, exactly. Win was stolen. This is the first glimpse list I've played. Yeah, yeah, and I think it's the first and last, unless there's another serious iteration. I'm not interested in the tiny margins between Risen Reef versions and non-Risen Reef versions. I think Seasoned Pyromancer, Omnath, Shardless Agent, Violent Outburst, and Wavesifter with 4x Chancellor as a win condition seems to be the best that I've seen this list be. That's I think this is the version of the deck that has the best fail state, which is important. Because if their draw wasn't as good as it was in terms of putting together these mid-range threats, we would be doing okay. Although, if they hadn't had this kind of draw, they probably would have hit Asmora earlier and just blown up all my creatures before I started cascading. So, and at that point, we'd basically be, dead in the water. All right, that's not a creature I can cascade with, and my mana is extremely limited now. So we're just dead here. From the other side of this matchup always feels fairly winnable. It's definitely going to get way better for them post board too, because they get to bring in like 5 more counter spells. But I think Foundation Breaker and Force of Vigor where we want to be. No, they're not. If I can get multiple tokens going to the point where Asmora has a hard time dealing with them all, then Mystical Dispute to punch through is probably good enough. Yeah, the Pray to Hit Emrakul or Omniscience version. I think this one is by far better. This version to me seems like the Velomachus deck versus the Emrakul deck, where it's like, yeah, the Emrakul deck's less fiddly, but it's also less good. Like, it just has less stuff going into it, so you get to play a more streamlined deck. But it's like, if you want to play Emrakuls, just play Through the Breach. Don't bother playing Indomitable Creativity. That's not where you want to be. Whereas the Velomachus deck is very, very good because you could win the game on the spot. And it's the same with this deck. Technically, an Omniscience deck can win on the spot if you hit an Omniscience and then have an Emrakul in your hand to cast. But I haven't seen that happen as often. Now they do win like on turn 3 a pretty reasonable percentage of the time. Wait, this isn't really yikes. I mean, they take my Seasoned Pyromancer, but that's fine. I didn't really need that asshole anyway. You know what? I'm going to attack you for 1. Just for that. Exactly. Well, we keep our good cards on top of our deck like pro players. Shadow Spear. What a nerd. You want to fetch out an Emery? Come on, nah. Come on, nah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. That is right where I want to be. Mm-hmm. So if they Thoughtseize me, I can counter it. And if they don't Thoughtseize me, I can counter their counter next turn. Excellent. Everything's falling into place. I don't pass on the ability to attack with my plant tokens. And I firmly believe anyone who does is leading you wrong. If you watch a streamer or streamers who don't attack with their plant tokens, consider seeking help. Don't leave your opponent untouched. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Michael. Ooh. So because they didn't make a move, do I just make sure that I'm not fizzling? I think so. Because I feel like they're very quickly going to feel pressured to make a move. Grab people, grab people. The cookbook, the cookbook. Yeah, it's actually been doing that a lot recently, Mike, and I'm a big fan of it. Moto seems to have gotten over itself, and it's now getting the correct token arts more often than it was before, which is great. I'm a big fan of that. All right, so I have a Seasoned Pyromancer in the graveyard that I could get tokens with. They still haven't made a move. They don't play any flash creatures, but also the chance of them having double interaction is very low, right? So I think this is go time, and then, you know, whatever happens, happens. Like, I have a Mystical Dispute to beat one counterspell, so I'm pretty comfortable here. Worst case, I swing for 4. You're not wrong, buddy. You are not wrong. I'm waiting for the panic moment. Fatal push. Oh my God. What? Yeah. What? What? Yeah. All right. All right. I'm into this. Oh my God. This deck is fantastically stupid. All right. We're going again? Yeah, we're going again. Float my mana. Give me another one. I want another one. Do I think this is any good? I mean... oops. Oh, there's no glimpse in my graveyard anyway. What do you mean by good? I mean... this deck can win games if you're not running into hate pieces. And we beat Merfolk that was sideboarding Chalice, right? So... I mean, there's obviously something happening. But my bigger concern is, like, is this deck healthy? Which is obviously subject to opinion. 4, 5, 6. But in my personal opinion, it's not. I'm going to put them to 1 here? All right. Pretty good. Pretty good turn 5. NGL, not going to lie. All right, go. All right, EOT fetch. You never want to play this deck of paper. Hell no. Are you kidding me? We call this deck a moped. You know, it's fun to ride, but you never want to have your buddies see you do it. Mystical Dispute! You were never needed! You were there for us, though. Just like Mana Leak before. You're doing good work. Doing good work. I mean, That's it. I mean, that's a hard question to ask. Is this deck good? It's good if your opponent doesn't have answers for it. Like, it attacks on an axis that some decks are just not ready for. But if you run into blue-red Delver, you're gonna get smashed to pieces. They did see dispute, so like let's assume they tried to play around it and they got. That's fair. That's fair. I wonder if they're going to be able to have more permanent based disruption this time. But I've played that deck a lot and they just don't have it. Like the best they can have is like EE, and they only play 1 to 2 copies in the sideboard. With this deck, some people just want to see what happens. Oh yeah, for sure. I don't have a problem with them not conceding. I was just wondering like how they were playing up until that point. I mean they might have been digging for an answer, just never having it and praying that I didn't have it, and I did. They thought seized me, but I don't want to bring in Leyline. I think we just roll with it as we're the villain. We're the villain, 100%. They've got to save Robin, or I am going to kill him. So Gemstone Caverns, you say? All right. So Gemstone Caverns, Khalni Garden, turn 1 Wavesifter, turn 2 Violent Outburst. I love that statement. Well, this hand is totally fair. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely, totally as Richard Garfield intended it. Good luck, buddy. Woo! What, Doctor? We've got one heck of a game of Magic the Gathering coming for you. And we're going to get right to that after our special sponsor announcement from TCG Player. The only place you want... I'm not endorsed by TCG Player. They're probably good people. I've never bought anything from them. I mean, we just go EOT Cascade, my turn Cascade, right? Like, we do the classic. Even if they win, their princess is in a castle anyway. The fools! You fool. Oh, they don't have an oval chase. And they were like, wait, I don't want to discard any of these. I love the deck they're playing so much, by the way. I want to be on record. I freaking love this Urza Asmoro deck, but it's nowhere near as good as it seemed like it was going to be on the first weekend out. It's good, but it's really finicky. Like, a lot more than you would think. And I'm glad. Like, that means it's not in, you know, not in ban range as much. Glimpse of tomorrow. Sorry, what? Oh, you didn't have a plan. Okay. That's okay. My Cascade did not go that well. Alrighty then. I did manage to reflip into the Gemstone Caverns, which is pretty fun. Yeah, this can resolve. I'm gonna fetch Shock, Crack a Clue here. And I need to get blue mana. Craps on every flavor of mid-range. It does not, though. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good. It's definitely a good deck. I'm not saying it's not good. But it is very beatable. It's very weak to combo. Well, it's playing blue-black, so I doubt it's that weak. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But the thing is, their engine is very finicky. It's very easy for them to draw, like, 66, like, 2 out of 3 cards they need for the game to be good and smooth. And missing the one card is a big deal. So, like, they've got Cookbook and Oval Chase, but they don't have a Saga or an Asmora. It's like, okay, keeping. Or they have a handful of Thoughtseizes and Asmoras, but no cookbook and no street rates. It's like, great. Like, fantastic. I guess. Ooh. Well, this is fun. This card, I love Urza, Lord High Artificer, right? Love him. Love that card. But good God, does he feel awful sometimes. Like this situation right here. I'm going to tap 4 mana for my completely fair, reasonable permanent. Look how crappy it would be on this board. And I'm just going to B-slap him anyway with this Mystical Dispute. Like, woof. This card is almost never actually that good in this deck. Yes, it's good against Stony Silence, but you still have to be able to resolve it. And that's not always easy with all your artifacts off. Like, I don't know. It's just like... This deck is very, very attackable. So I think this is locked up. So we go one. Do I want red? I guess so. I probably should have red and green, but I need to spend blue, green. Okay. So I should probably float it a blue. I mean, I could off one of my treasured, but I'd rather just flip big. Yeah, it's just like, and again, I'm glad of that. It's just, it's kind of annoying to play it sometimes because if you run into like turn 1 prismatic ending, your mull to 6 can suddenly be like a mull to 2, which is just annoying. Yeah, but when it's firing all cylinders, it's completely busted. So it's like, I'm not like, it's just like there's just more variance to my mid-range deck than I would prefer, I guess is the way I maybe am perceiving it. Treasure. Okay, so let's go fetch, make some more treasures. Because I want to make sure the next glimpse is the lethal one. So, treasure. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make sure I don't discard this Violent Outburst because I want to cast it on the next go-around. Oh, I don't have clues. Oh, but I'm about to get 2 clues. Yeah. So, Wavesifter gives me 2 clues. So we pool all our mana. I'm going to get at least 1 mana on my next spin. I mean, if I am really concerned about it, I could sack another treasure. Maybe I will, just to be like sort of technically correct. Chancellor is not necessarily something I wanted to draw here. Although, well, whatever. Let's see what we draw. So discard that. Trigger. Discard that. Oh, perfect. Okay. And then we go again. Oh, right. I should have made 1 more mana. But we're going to get mana off this spin here. There's no way I don't hit a single untapped land. All right, pick them up. Pick it all up. And then this time we're going to hit a Chancellor, and we're going to have a Violent Outburst to play afterwards. I could just cast the Outburst here. I don't have haste. Here comes the crash. Yeah, I guess so. But I like to pay the 2 life. How many do I have coming in? A lot. No. I have Provisioners too. Yeah, this is going to be the crash. I mean, it's not going to crash, but it's like, yeah. Woohoo! So the most important things to stack here are the Chancellors on the bottom. So we stack the Chancellors on the bottom, and relatively speaking, everything else is fine where it is. And so, because the way Magic Online is working right now is not only slow, but annoying, because it keeps resetting me to the top of this stack based on a sort of arbitrary stacking of these abilities, I'm just going to let them go in a fairly random order, because largely speaking, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to have ultra lethal Dodeca detention damage here. I think my opponent is taking something near 100 or more. And I can push it to more with double Violent Outburst. I believe that I'm putting into play 30 haste goblins, but it might be more than that because I can't actually see everything that's about to happen here. And I could do more, for the record. We could do more. I'm happy to put these all on stack, opponent. I don't mind. Can you right-click for any quick stacking? No. So this, right now, what it's asking me to do, Swiss Sneeze, this is not the stack. This is what the stack is about to be. This is asking me to stack my abilities, and you just... there's literally no auto-stacking in this game. There is on Magic Arena, but you usually want to turn that off. Does the opponent sleep? They're tapped out. Is there a free spell that's like sleep? There must be. All right. Now what we do is we yield to the Khalni Gardens, so they're gonna go through in a batch. Yield to the Omnath draw. Force of Sleep. Yield to the Pyromancers. So each of these has choices involved, so we can't yield to them. But that's fine. Yeah, Force of Despair. Force of Despair would be the crush here. We got the answer for it anyway. They missed the window. I'm going to hold on to this Mystical Dispute, just in case they have Force of Despair. Just in case I'm playing against the one Psycho who registered Force of Despair other than me and Jiggy Wiggy. Okay, now with each of the Tireless Provisioners, we need to choose. Force of Despair with one card in hand? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's Massacre. It's Massacre. They control a swamp. And I control a forest. If I have to. Plains? Do I have Plains in play? I do have a Plains in play. Does Massacre require me to have a land type in play? I think it does. Because it's for Masks block. Well, it doesn't give -2/-2 to white creatures. It gives -2/-2 to all creatures, right? Like, it just, like, the actual text of it is not, like, specifically white hosing. But I get that it's intended to host white. I get that. Omnath triggers Tireless Provisioner that got misstacked. Omnath trigger Tireless Provisioner trigger that got misstacked. Omnath trigger Tireless Provisioner trigger that got misstacked. Omnath triggers, Chancellor triggers. Yeah. All right, so what is that, like 15 goblins and then 30 goblins? Something on that level? My opponent's been free to concede, by the way. This is not my fault. This is this happening right now. Once I put this on the stack, they should have conceded if they value their time. I conceded to them. I didn't make them kill me. Admittedly, the window was a lot smaller, but I mean, the spirit is there. So Shardless Agent finally resolves. Very tired from waiting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of 10, 1 9 and 1 8 for some reason. So we play the Violent Outburst because, you know. Cascade. Cast the... Oh no, we missed. Oh no. Oh no. Go to combat, I guess. Where is it? I don't know, attack. F6. So, 57 times 2, 114. I don't know, I hit you for 114. Remember when Moto didn't have attack all? No, I don't. I wasn't here for those dark ages. We have the win against the SSG Manamorphose Rakdos Charm. So even if I did get killed that way, I would count this as a W in my column. I don't even know how much, like, let's say they could cast Weather the Storm for free. I don't know how much it would actually do. I only think I've cast like 10 spells. Game 30 is nowhere near enough. Like, we didn't even cast that many spells. The whole game was taken up by triggers. Endless triggers. It's my opponent's priority. In response, settle the wreckage. They don't have the mana. All the things people are suggesting, they don't have mana, and even Force of Despair, they don't have the cards. Are they gonna grief me with the clock here? Marrow shards. Wing shards won't save you here. It's goblins all the way down. This is game 3, yeah. I think this is game 3. Yeah. I know I lost a game. I don't remember winning a game, but I'm sure it happened. All right, well, we'll get a tweet ready. Picture. This is dumb. Oh, they passed priority back. All right. You bought a watch. Bad news, you let scalpers win. Rolex scalpers? I don't understand. I'm happy for you? Question mark? You were, Alex, you were. Cherry Axeman took the Emrakul version to an 04 or so. Picked up that sweet new affinity list today. Is there a sweet new affinity list, or is it just the same one that was around before? All right. So first time ever looking at Ardent Plea. Oh yeah, I love that Vox plays. So I'm on the play with Gemstone Caverns, but we have Khalni Garden, Provisioner, and Ardent Plea. I mean, I'm inclined to keep this. I can't cast the Plea without drawing blue or white, unless I just wait until turn 4. How do you beat this deck? Counterspells. Just play counterspells in your deck. They're good. No, you don't even have to play control. Monkey Blade should smash this deck. Blue-Red Delver should smash this deck. Even discard spell based decks, like as long as you have more than one discard spell, you should be okay. I mean, sometimes you're not, but it's just a combo deck. Like, ran into, yeah, Teferi's a beating. Teferi just sort of shuts this deck out flat out. Just shuts this deck down flat out. Yeah, and also most of the other combo decks will beat this deck because they're just better and faster, right? So it's just mid-range and aggro that tends to stumble against this deck, and not even aggro. Like if they have like a bunch of Lava Darts and Lightning Bolts, they can severely limit the number of permanents I'm able to put into play, which is, you know. Potentially problematic. So we'll see if they're playing blue. There's a chance I go up to turn 4. I go play Tireless Provisioner, play Fetch Land, make 2 tokens. Oh, is this like burn? Oh no, this is might be the like hybrid prowess list where it's like kind of prowess but kind of burn. We'll see if they play like another lava spike skewer. They're going upstairs. Okay, we're just gonna try to combo this turn. Yeah, it looks like mono red prowess or something similar. That means my headphones are finished charging. All right. I think we just cascade this turn. We just spin to win. So I gotta fetch. I can fetch an island and just hit an Omnath and win. Some folk will never raise gun, but then again some folk will like Cletus the slack-jawed yokel. We don't want to wait 1 turn for 4 more permanents. No, I don't.
What's going on this side?
No, I don't think so. The thing is, it won't be, right? They will kill the Provisioner. And then, I don't know. I mean, maybe I was supposed to. I feel pretty pressured. Maybe it was wrong. Eh. Yeah, exactly. Like, well, Bolt plus Lava Dart, right? They kill the Provisioner and then they kill both of my creatures. So go Treasure, Sifter, Plea comes in. So if I really want to play conservatively, I can put a food in here, which I could crack. I think I will. And then we use Wavesifter to chump block here if they don't kill both my creatures. Yeah. They kill both my creatures, though. Without the Provisioner, I'm definitely, like, a little hosed on mana. Spike, sure. If they have triple bolt, we should be okay. You hope so bad that this deck is ever for the challenge. What are you playing, Jake? Skullcrack. That's funny. It's like weirdly specifically hosed by my plan. Like they had to play it in order to have a chance there. And the fact that I had it meant that they had no chance. But they have 2 cards in hand. So like I play Provisioner this turn and then I'm going to be up a creek really quickly here. Basically we're just in that we need to draw another Cascade spell. And that's all there is to it. I could generate a food, but I feel like second Provisioner is just about as good. So, oh, Canonist, yeah. What is it that you're playing, Jig? They just pass? Holy crap. That's unreal. So I could glimpse now, but I'd rather just make a million food. Well, like, split. So we make a treasure and a food, we pass the turn. I mean, Provisioner, maybe. I'm not sold on this card, like, in non-nonsense decks, but it's fine. I mean, it's definitely Tireless Tracker. Just, what do they have in their hand? Like, just like 3-4 Bedlam Revelers? Yeah, I'll block. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Ultra Lotus Cobra, right? Is that Searing Blaze for 1? It is. That's so cute. They shrink my creature plus the +1/+1. So we fetch here, we go to 4. Get a treasure and a food. Oh, Mr. Maple Syrup with that thick resub. Thick, making it stick. And we just go Gemstone Dark-Dwellers and then Cascada. Ahoy hoy to you too, my friend. We got some reasonable viewership. We're still making that push for partner. I should do like more big things about that, I guess. Like make more big deals out of it. I think what I'm gonna do is pre-buy a PC because I've found a way to rejigger some finances so that I can do that, and then do some bigger streams and sort of try to catapult my way up to that. Because I feel like once everything's running super smoothly on this end, then it'll be a lot easier to do that. So I'm hoping I flip into Omnath here. I didn't. So I'm hoping I flip into Lethal here. We did flip into a Provisioner, which gives me 4 triggers. So I can get a food and a treasure, plus 2 Seasoned Pyros. I mean, I can't imagine I lose at this point. Oh, there was a second Dark-Dwellers. Oh, but there's nothing in my graveyard. That's why it's on top, because I can't point it at anything. Yeah, so you have to leave it for last, and then it just goes, I can't do anything. And you go, that's okay. Don't worry about it. 1 treasure. 1 food. 1 treasure. 1 food. 1 treasure. Oh, we're done. Yeah, life is good, though, generally. Thank you for asking. Wait, can I kill them this turn? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably. Definitely. As long as I can cast the Chancellor. But I can't. I mean, I could, but it would involve putting myself low enough I'm not comfortable. So we're just going to attack them with a million goblins. And then if they try to kill me, just sack enough stuff that we gain enough life that they can't possibly kill me back. Because what we can do is use a treasure and a land to sack a food. And we'll probably do that end of turn. Like before they have 2 mana to Skullcrack. We'll go treasure and a land, sacks food. Then we fetch a tap land. Or an untapped land if I can. I think there's still a mountain in the deck. Thoughts about Academy Manufacturer. In this deck, not high on it. The biggest problem with the Academy Manufacturer in general is that in and of itself, it doesn't do anything. So you need the supporting cards to really do the work for the manufacturer. And I'm just... I honestly feel like this is the fully teched out, tuned out version of this deck. I really, like, unless someone shows me a card that really does more than one of these pieces, this is as good as like the core strategy can be with like a reasonably high floor and a good ceiling. And what I mean by that is the fail case of this deck is not as god-awful as it could be. And the success rate of this deck, I mean, we've been winning on turn 3 and 4, like, regularly. So, I feel like Manufactor... If you're just asking about thoughts about Academy Manufactor in general, I think it's one of the coolest cards in MH2 that is just difficult to play. Once the format actually figured out what it was about, it turns out that a 3-mana 1/3 that literally doesn't do anything when it enters the battlefield, no matter how good it could be with other cards, is probably not good enough. It dies to Lightning Bolt. It dies to Fatal Push. The only thing that's it's kind of awkward for cards to beat is Prismatic Ending. And on top of that, I mean, the decks with Academy Manufacturer, if you have a way to get Time Sieve, then you maybe have a reasonable game against like Enchantress and Lantern and those kind of decks, maybe. But you're not going to be able to necessarily compete. Still hot for turn 1 Monkey into Ionis into What? Yeah, I actually played the Kitchen Nightmares deck a bunch of times on stream. I didn't record it for YouTube, Mr. Maple Syrup. And then I've played it a bit off stream, and I was commenting on it in the last match because we played against it. And I love the blue-black Urza's Mora decks. But they're more fiddly and finicky than I was hoping for. Oh, Lonus. Lonus. Sorry. I thought you meant like Iona and you spelled it wrong. Van Halen's Hot for Monkey. That's a banger. My parents got engaged to that song. She's got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. Cause she's hot for monkey. Iron Chef Urza's Kitchen is a lot better in paper. Really? Because I feel like the problem with the deck is that its engine is fiddly and fragile. So when you run into... Ouch. If you run into people playing... what do I want to talk about? Prismatic Ending, you are going to run into problems. Okay, so this means we just go for Cascade next turn, and I just hope I live through this one. I shouldn't die to their next attack. So we go Stomping Grounds, and then we play the Wavesifter here. And, like, Eidolon doesn't do it. Oh, freak you nasty. Has it been 3 months since Strixhaven? I guess we're getting close. Damn, dude. That's so cool. It's all about Heliod combo and paper, but with infinite squirrels for the BM. What the hell? Force of Rage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 3 mana for 6 damage against non-creature decks? You opponent are doing it right. That was awesome. I mean, I'm going to throw them in the dumpster apparently, but like, you know. Sure was neat. What 1 mana would I prefer to floating, red or green? Probably red. Let's find out that was wrong. Don't get eliminated. Most extreme elimination challenge. I feel like the tagline for Modern could be "Don't get eliminated." Ball lightning. MXC is phenomenal. Oh yeah. Big Daddy Omnath coming in to cradle me. Just say, it's okay, Zach. It's okay. Daddy's here. Daddy's here and you're gonna be okay. So we can go Pyromancer under Omnath. And there's a Provisioner to make food. So let's go yield. Gain 4. I think I can respond. What are these people running from? They're not. They're running towards the world's most toughest competition in town. That's right. Oh man, it's so good. And the parody commentators with the English commentary. Oh my god, the best. The best. Well, that's absolutely right, Rick. Now, it seems like you're a little distracted today, Ken. Well, that's because I've been finalizing my divorce. Oh boy. Oh, it's okay. She was terrible in bed. Oh! This stack is what dreams are made of. I was growing up, I always wanted a stack like this. Oh, I misstacked this. Might work out in my favor, but it probably won't. All right, it's fine. It's fine. We still have a Violent Outburst to cast, so. Hold on, now we gonna do it again. We ain't done yet. Ain't seen nothing yet. Wow, wow. Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Wow, wow. All right, this is lethal. Baby, you know you never, you're gonna forget, baby. You just ain't seen nothing yet. I really do feel like that's where that song ends up going. And then you did it, and I said, I ain't seen nothing yet, baby. You ain't been around. Do 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 do. All right. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 goblins, then 20 goblins, then 40 goblins. So hit you for 80. Oh, hold on. Play Leyline of Sanctity first. Oh, no, Philosopher. Moto can handle 80 goblins. Now, 256 goblins. That's when you start running into trouble. Oh. Last night, we skillfully navigated Sultai Infect to 2 separate 4/1s. Today, we rammed some coins in a slot machine, and we're here. Come on, baby. Hold together. I'm stroking my monitor. Obviously, the laptop is the thing that's doing the work. You know. All right. Cast Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, does the Shardless resolve? She's been waiting so long. All right, cast Violent Outburst. Opponent says new deck, question mark. Kind of. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. Can you imagine registering burn in this format, by the way? Like, not specifically against this deck even, but like, can you imagine registering Boros Burn in this format? I cannot imagine it. Maybe if you could get a turn 0 Eidolon of the Great Revel, maybe. What I'm saying is you should play 4 of Gemstone Caverns in your burn deck. That's what I'm saying. Savannah Goblins. The Roo Slams. They make me laugh. They make me laugh. What's that goblin art? That's the goblin token art from Scars of Mirrodin, which is the correct New Phyrexia, I think, because it's the correct token art for the Chancellor. Opponent said, "Shoot, opponent. If I wanted to, I could have gained a lot more than like the 8 life I did." No. Price of Progress would be terrible for Modern. It would be way too good. Yeah, these are Phyrexian goblins. Well, but also, they're specifically the Mirren goblins turned Phyrexian, right? Because the Mirren goblins don't look like other goblins, right? They kind of all look like Psychotogs. They're kind of like Max from Sam and Max. Like, they're mostly like mouth and teeth. Like, if a human being had the proportions of a Mirren goblin, Like my mouth would be like this wide and my teeth would be like that long. Yeah. So yeah, that was a 4-1. And the only one we lost to was Chad Nauseum, which was a 2-1, a 1-2. So what do I have to say about this deck? Okay. I don't think that this deck in and of itself is unhealthy for Modern, and I don't think it's overpowered. What I do think is playing against it sucks more than Neobrand. At least Neobrand had the dignity to kill you like within 2 to 3 minutes. You didn't get to do much, and if you had the right cards to beat them, they usually folded instantaneously. This one, not only can it theoretically play through most hate pieces because it's a little bit slower and you have the options, like the deck isn't so fragile that it falls apart as soon as you play Chalice on 0, but when you try to start winning, it's non-deterministic how quickly that will happen. And it's just a huge pain in the ass for both players to go through it. I mean, obviously I had fun doing that. And I mean, I had fun, but I don't want to play this deck again. And I was nervous about people trying to make this deck better. And this version of this deck has sort of concluded that this is actually quite resilient and quite good. It put up a reasonable finish in a challenge. I mean, this, yeah. And to the things that people are talking about, paper play is about to resume. If you want to play this deck in paper, you better be damn sure that you get all your triggers straight. Yeah, Vox plays, that's a great way to say this is the logical conclusion of the deck. Well, on one axis, this is the resiliency axis. So if you push the deck where it's like, okay, when we're not comboing, how okay can our deck be? This is the answer. And then on the flip side, there's probably a version of the deck that's like, if I combo and I flip like 4 cards, how good can I make those cards? And that was like the Emrakul Omniscience version, where it's like you didn't need a big Cascade or you didn't need a big Glimpse of Tomorrow. You just want to flip over 4 cards and be like that. So to finish my point from earlier, if you want to play this like competitive in paper, you better damn be sure that you get all your triggers straight. Because if you play someone who really knows their stuff and you're just kind of hand waving your way through this, you're going to be in trouble fast. So don't do that. And then on top of that, slow play warnings. There's been a lot of time in between organized play. And when judges are coming back, I hope, I mean, this is what I'm going to be doing as a judge, is really making sure I have all my fundamentals in check. And there are people who are putting good work in and putting, getting messages out there of, as judges, there were things we could do to improve events that we weren't doing because maybe we didn't have time, maybe we didn't have energy, maybe we didn't have the focus. And there's been a lot of conferences and stuff. Yeah, I'm a judge. And so slow play is going to perhaps be a much more widely enforced policy when we return to competitive REL. And obviously, I'm not saying for normal people playing normal decks, but if you bring something like this, you just better be damn sure you can play it quick. Same with Lantern. You better be sure that you know what you're doing. So just PSA on that one. Your judge is not entitled to be a jerk about it if you are playing at a reasonable pace. Just say, I'm going to play at a reasonable pace. I've practiced enough and I can do it. And then you do it. If you can execute through a turn, reasonably well, and it's faster in paper than it was there, then you'll be fine. Figure out a method by which you can stack like physical objects like the cards in an order where you're like, okay, this is the order of my triggers. I'm going to stack my cards as they come into play in the order that I'm going to resolve their triggers. So we'll see. With all that out of the way, sorry for the post-league rant, but if you enjoy what I do, if you enjoy my rants, and if you enjoy the kind of things I play, you can hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out any other videos that you're interested in on the Mana Symbol channel here on the YouTube, if you are now watching on